Good morning, Internet, and welcome to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast where we take your wonderful, nasty, awful, beautiful video game ideas from all over the Internet and turn them into the next AAA video game titles. I am one of your hosts, Blake Rea.
And I'm your other host, AJ Hart. I'm here again. Can you believe it? I fought my way back.
We're back. You know, we had to take a little bit of a week off last week because I got super sick. And we had life stuff going on. But we're back. We're here. We are alive.
Blake, I appreciate you trying to cover for me and say that it was life stuff. I do have an admission, a small confession for why I took the week off.
Were you addicted to video games?
I was maybe a little bit addicted to a video game. You know how that happens to us sometimes.
What video game? You and I haven't talked about any video games since like Ball Pit. Like, what have you been playing?
You're right. We haven't talked about anything since Ball Pit, have we?
No.
We haven't done anything since Ball Pit. We've maybe been a little bit ball pitted out and maybe hit the ball pit a little bit too much.
Wait, what game are you playing? I genuinely don't know what game you're playing. I feel like
I'm playing Ball Pit. Okay, well, I played Ball Pit. Okay, I think it's important that I tell the narrative arc of Ball Pit.
Wait, you're still addicted to Ball Pit? I kind of dropped that, dude. I'm addicted to other video games now.
See, you're getting ahead of me. You're putting your cart in front of my horse.
Okay.
Blake, last week 2 weeks ago we talked about Ball Pit, and you and I have talked about Ball Pit off mic. But last week when we were talking about Ball Pit, we were really hot on Ball Pit, weren't we?
Oh yeah, it was super fun. We were having a good time.
Really hot on Ball Pit. And I kept playing Ball Pit for a week. You know what I mean? I checked it all out. I saw some of those other characters. How many characters did you end up unlocking in that game?
Oh god, maybe like 10. I know there's like a shit ton more.
There is, I think, 12 characters. Who was the last one you unlocked?
Oh, actually, maybe I haven't unlocked 10. Actually, no, I unlocked a good amount. Maybe I unlocked 7. I think that sounds about right. The last character I unlocked was... it wasn't the Mummy. It was the one after the Mummy.
What did they do? Because I think that one of the things that's most fascinating about Ball Pit and the character unlocks is how much they change the gameplay.
Yeah, well, kinda. I feel like a lot of the characters
We'll get there. And the pitch is that they changed the gameplay a lot. You and I have talked off mic. We're going to get there. What did the character that you finally unlocked to do? Because I want to play the scenes a little bit of what these characters all do as you continue to unlock them.
I unlocked the Zeus-looking guy. That guy was weird. What's his name?
Does he do, Blake?
I'm sure. Yeah, you're asking like I memorized these people. It's the Cogitator. Jesus Christ, a brilliant philosopher lost in thought automatically chooses upgrades for you. That's the last guy I got.
Chooses
number
upgrades
6
for you.
He was the 6th upgrade, the 6th character.
Blake, there's some other characters in there that do some really dope stuff. There's a character that you can unlock later on called the Flagellant. The gimmick there is that the balls bounce off of the backboard as well, or the thing to the bottom of the screen.
They already do that. Oh
no, they don't. They don't bounce off the bottom of the screen. Once they hit the bottom of the screen, they're supposed to come back.
That's
to you.
Not the backboard. That's the front.
That's the front board.
I guess it's your back though. It's like you're not facing it. All right, but continue, please.
There's another character that like has a shield in front of him, and it turns into actual brick break. If a ball bounces off of the wall in front of this character, it'll bounce off. Okay. There's a character that I found very fascinating that turns the game into a turn-based RPG. Basically, instead of you like firing it all in real time, the enemies will come down like one space. You're able to walk around, and then you click to fire all of the balls wherever you're aiming. And then they'll do all of their bounces, and then they'll come back to the character. And then the little guys will come down one, and then you get to take your turn.
That sounds like a completely different game. That's super cute. That's exactly what you and I were talking about, where it was like, I remember my big fuss was that I wish the bosses had more variety. I wish that the game felt completely different when it got to the bosses. And it sounds like they were one step ahead of me. They did that with the characters.
They make the characters all feel incredibly unique. And I think that's one of the biggest charms of this game. There's one character that instead of you throwing, like having to aim to do your shots, instead they just shoot out all of the balls in a big fan formation. So the game does a fair amount to try to make sure that like player control feels different every single time that you play this. All of these characters interact in different and interesting ways. So herein lies the problem. I was doing one of the runs with actually this exact combination. I was playing the character who throws balls in every direction, and I was playing as the character with the fortress. So all the balls that hit his shield would bounce up.
Yeah.
But you hit a certain point while playing Ball Pit where there's so many balls on the screen, and I wasn't necessarily thinking about which balls I was bouncing back or thinking about where I was shooting those balls, because one of the characters made it so the balls were everywhere, and the other one made it so that I never had to worry about capturing the balls. So the balls just kind of bounced around all willy-nilly, silly style. And I'm sitting there enjoying myself. I'm like, damn, I'm so good at Ball Pit. I got these balls going everywhere, and I'm clearing the space. And Jack looks at me and says, hey, AJ, are you even doing anything?
It's just all it's playing itself, basically.
No. Oh, no, Blake Rhea. At this point, I started to become concerned.
Became an idle game?
I'd been sitting here for 15 minutes. Had I done anything? Are you still there? I can't hear you. In fact, the room tone that's normally associated with you.
There we go. I subconsciously put my headset microphone up so it was out of my face, and I didn't even realize.
You put the microphone away because you were listening to my story. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I knew I was just gonna keep talking and stuff, and I was like, no, this is his moment. Let him shine. So you went 15 minutes. It became an idle game for you. It just became a Ball Pit idle game. That sounds
I thought to myself, maybe this was a fluke. Maybe I was just popping off so hard with that character combination. Mm-hmm. So then I got another character. Repeat. At this point, I unlocked the character that says, the balls bounce off the backboard. And this was a level 1 character. Brand new. As the game goes on, you're able to upgrade the characters a little bit as you play through. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is a brand new character. So I grabbed this one brand new character that says balls bounce off the backboard. And then I grabbed the what's called the cohabitants. The game unlocks to a certain point where you're able to bring 2 characters into a run every time, rather than just the one. Sorry for people that are maybe early on in the game and didn't follow that. So I grabbed the balls bounce off the backboard, and I grabbed the cohabitants, which double the amount of baby balls that you're launching. Will double the amount of balls in general. And I fire up that game, and I just start tossing things. I even go down to the hardest level that I have unlocked at that point, because I hadn't cleared. I was trying to slow myself down and not just go to the hardest level every single time. So this time, now that Jack mentioned, did you even play the game? And I was concerned. I was like, no, there's surely gameplay here. So I grab those 2 baby characters and I go to the hardest level. I fire it up. Blake, I completely dog walk this fight. Like it was the desert level, and I don't know if you got to that one, but the desert level's boss at the end is like a big bus that kind of floats left and right and then shoots a bunch of arrows at you. And the thing about having so many balls on screen that were bouncing everywhere is that every time the boss tried to attack me, all of the balls that I had would just counteract all of the attacks that the boss was trying to make. And then I killed the boss in like 5-10 seconds. Mm-hmm. Blake, I took the babiest characters to the hardest level and completely dog walked it. I started to think to myself, maybe I'm not playing this game at all in any way, shape, or form. And this game isn't as engaging or gripping as I thought. It just has a lot of dopamine hits because it has a lot of good sound design. And it makes you feel really good when you select things, but Blake, I was going to dog walk it no matter what.
So does that mean you're just done? Yeah, you're just like, it's like, okay, cool. What is the challenge? Honestly, now that I'm done with it.
I don't want to play. I don't want to play Vampire Survivors. You know what I mean? Now when you showed me Megabonk 2 weeks ago, my first thought was, seems whatever.
Yeah, it
could be fun if it was platforming, but even there, I was complaining about like the Vampire Survivors archetype of game. I don't really find them very fun, personally.
It's wild that you mentioned that because that's exactly where I am with like why I dropped Diablo as well. Whereas like it got to a point where I walk into a room and it's just like I hold trigger and things go away. Like it's just not fun. Like I guess there's something very satisfying of like, I guess in a weird way, I feel like the people that are really into that are like the same people who are really into like a good Factorio build, a good Satisfactory build, where it's like you built it so optimally, you get to just bask in your own genius, and it's like, I just get to witness.
Same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe not for Ball Pit because of like how quick the rounds are. The Satisfactory head. I haven't touched the meth pipe that is Factorio.
I wish that they didn't sound the exact same so that I could hold the two games independently in my brain.
They just have factory in the name. That's how similar can they really be?
I don't know. They could try to pick other words and see if they could make the window a little bit bigger. I think that they didn't try at all is the problem. I think they both were like, and our game's going to be called Factory. And they said it at the same time, and they looked at each other and they're like, fuck.
Copy my homework, but make it slightly different.
Satisfactory.
Okay. So you're just done with Ball Pit? You got hard into it for a little bit longer, and then you just decided like you're donezo? It's
second I realized that this was not a game that I was playing, but was in fact a game that was hypnitizing me, I completely lost interest.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I don't need a video game like that. I don't need a video we already have so many things out here in the world that are trying to take our time from us, right? We all know that social media is built to just keep your eyeballs on the screen. We know
focused.
We know that Duolingo changed up its lesson plan to keep you on the app as much as you can and not
really?
actually move
that
through the lessons.
That happened?
Oh, Duolingo started prioritizing lesson time over like progression, and so that's why.
They just started doing a shit ton of filler.
Yeah, it's a lot of filler.
Oh, interesting. Well,
it feels good though, and and I'm not gonna say like no practice is or like some bad practice is better than no practice at all, but
True.
It's not a primary learning tool because it isn't interested in learning. It's interested in making you be on the app.
Interesting. I did not know that. Fascinating.
We're in what is frighteningly referred to as the attention economy. Yeah. And a video game that capitalizes on my time and makes me feel good, but doesn't actually ask me to play the video game.
Yeah.
Blake, that's not a video game. That's hypnosis.
You know what's crazy is like, not to get too serious, but just because the topic came up, I was rewatching a interview with Bo Burnham from like 2019. This is like right before the pandemic. I was just watching an interview and he was talking about like just the how colonizing is just like a thing that has always been around, and in years past, like the thing that we would colonize is land. Like we would always that's how you made businesses, that's how you grew in money, that's how you grew in profit, is you would just go get more and more land because that was the thing. Now that all the land is taken, all the land is is owned by somebody, now we have moved on to the idea of like we are colonizing people's mind share. And like that is such a crazy fucking thought of like, hey, the more your company owns of like a person's like 24 hours in their day of like their thinking, like the more successful your company is. That is like just such a buck wild like, oh yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Like that is just like a very, I don't want to say like a human pull, but like it is definitely a capitalist idea. Very bizarre, very crazy.
So yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm done with Ball Pit. I think it was a really cool game. I think it was really good sound design, and I think they made the choices all feel good in that game. But I am concerned that just kind of playing it, just sitting there while it does its own thing, just didn't get me going in the way that it really did during those first few hours. But I will say that it made me think about another game that I played like a year and a half ago, and I kind of want to plug that really quick, if you don't mind.
Sure, go for it.
This was a game called Beast Breaker. I think I talked about it on the show a while ago. Do you remember this one?
No.
This is the turn-based marble blaster. Similar to Ball Pit, you're going to play as a character that shoots a little launch out.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah, it's a turn-based brick breaker, but in Beast Breaker, you are fighting a giant monster, and you choose what kind of throw you're going to do with your little mouse, and you'll move around the arena. This game is kind of more in line with what I wanted Ball Pit to become. So if you like Ball Pit and you're concerned about the hypnosis, please go check out Beast Breaker. Thanks. Blake, what have you been playing?
I have been... so I have a love-hate thing. So I was like, I really wanted to install, or I really wanted to play Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders came out recently. And Arc Raiders, for those that don't know, it is a extraction shooter. You go in, you collect scrap, you collect whatever, you fight robots, fight other players, then you extract out, and then you get to like work on your guns and things like that. I'm
so that's how an extraction shooter works.
Kind of like some extraction shooters, it's like you get currency to buy better weapons. You don't get to craft them. Like comparing this to Hunt Showdown, like you get like you start with, you have beginner gear, you go in and you live or you die, and whatever you collect during your time on the hunt and you survive, you get to take back with you and apply to your next hunt.
Time out. What?
Yeah.
That's how extraction... I'm going to keep it real with you, Blake. I have a video game podcast, and I've never played an extraction shooter. But if somebody had just came up to me and said, AJ, extraction shooters are phasmophobia with guns, I would have been checking this genre out way more heavily.
Really? No way. Like, I did not know... Okay, so...
Nobody made it click for me. People have just been throwing around the term, and I... am negligent. And so I just kind of like threw them away in my brain. I was like, whatever, I'm not playing the hunt. I know Blake really likes it, but like, I don't really, whatever. I don't need another MMO show or another multiplayer shooter.
If
somebody just said, AJ, it's phasmophobia, but with guns, you have to play it safe and tactical and then leave and laugh at your friends when they die, I would have been hopped in.
It's exactly that, yeah.
That rules.
I'm surprised you've never... Okay, so let me just go through the
I wish that you weren't about to talk about two extraction shooters that you have problems with back to back.
Only one
cool genre.
Only one extraction shooter. I mean, it's not that it's like I have problems with it. I'm just realizing I'm not... I am only into the idea of an extraction shooter if I'm like playing with friends. Like nobody I know plays extraction shooters. So like I can't enjoy it to the fullest extent. It's not that the games are bad. It's just that I am not optimally enjoying them. So an extraction shooter, for those that don't know, and for my buddy AJ, I'll explain here. You start
it's
a game.
Phasmophobia with guns.
Kind of. So you depends on the extraction shooter. Some of them they have missions. Some of them they have like tasks. Some of them you have like little RPG elements and whatnot. You spawn. You're a random character, a random person with like depending on the game, you sometimes have abilities that are based on a character or an archetype or something. You load into an area, into like a small open world that other players are actively in as well. In Hunt Showdown, you are given a hunt. You are basically, there's a monster somewhere in this little open world that every player that is loaded in is actively hunting for. And only one of you gets to claim the kill, and only one of you gets to claim the treasure. So you are all searching the area, finding clues to figure out where the monster is. You go to the monster, it's a boss fight. The moment the boss fight it gets started, everybody now knows where the monster is, so they're going to be swarming your position. And the stress of it is you need to kill the monster and extract before other people kill you. If somebody else found the monster, it's now your response. Now your goal is like, okay, cool. I need to get there, wait till they kill the monster, and then kill them afterwards after they're weakened, or just jump in the middle of the boss fight yourself. So the core mechanic is there's something in the world that you want, that every player wants, and everybody's going to be fighting for it. Arc Raiders was kind of interesting because it doesn't have that. When I loaded into Arc Raiders, it was the gimmick is like the world has ended, the AI took over, robots took over, and now everybody lives underground. You go above ground to go collect scrap, collect junk, guns, materials, whatever that you can bring back to base. That allows you to expand your base, build up new workstations that allow you to build better tools, allow you to buy higher level guns, to build better, tech resources for yourself above ground. There's every time I've loaded into an Arc, dude, I only played like maybe 2 hours of it. Nobody was fighting. Like every person I came across was like, "Hey, how you doing? What are you looking for?" Yeah, everybody was like, "Hey, what are you looking for?" Like I came up to a guy, like we were in the forest, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm just looking for a car battery. Please don't shoot me." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, man." Like, and then we just parted. We just parted ways. There was no tension.
That's awesome.
There was no tension. That everybody's, but that's so boring. That's like that takes the like. Don't get me wrong. I think it was kind of heartwarming in the sense that like, okay, cool. People didn't default to killing one another. They were all like, hey, we're all learning the game. Like let's be nice and stuff like that. But there was like no. It was just so quiet the whole time. And maybe that was because I was only in the beginner areas. There was like some different biomes that you can load into, different maps, whatever. I don't know. It was not what I wanted it to be. AJ, download Hunt Showdown, and it's like $2, and then you and I could play that.
Whoa, that's like no money at all.
I think we would have fun. I know a bunch of our friends actually have Hunt Showdown. We played it a couple of times, but I think everybody else kind of bounced off of it. Dude, let's go duos. Let's go hunt some monsters and shit.
What's the other game you've been playing?
So this led me, my disappointment in my lack of compatibility, because it's not a bad game. It's beautifully designed. It's like the aesthetics
with a very
of it.
friendly community. It sounds like.
Very
but you're not
friendly
interested in making friends.
Yeah,
it sounds like maybe you have some issues you need to work out. Perhaps you're looking to get into a digital space to do some violence, just to work out all of your. Yeah. I mean, look at you.
Yeah, I know.
Violent.
I'm strapped to a corporate desk for 8 hours a day. Of course, I need to get my violence out at some point. Arc Raiders is beautiful. Like, one thing I will recommend that it does it so fucking fresh is its sci-fi outfits and styling. It's like 1960s, 70s like sci-fi astronaut wear. And like all of the outfits from it fucking rule. They are so good in the fashion department. And so unique and so distinctive in a way that like I feel like most modern sci-fi, they are very like alien influenced, where it's like we're gonna do analog like sci-fi tech, it's like that look. It's like you've seen it like Chronos the New Dawn does it, all the Alien games do it, just any horror sci-fi these days kind of leans into that energy. This is like, it's super fresh, super colorful for like a dystopian game. This playing Arc Raiders led me to be like, okay, what else is this developer, made? Because I clearly like the style. They made The Finals, that competitive shooter from 2023. I was like, oh shit, like it's a free game, and I'm in a shooter mood, so I downloaded that and I played it. I got fucking hard addicted. I've had it for like maybe 2 days, like 2.5 days. I've already put like 10 hours into it it's just a shoot. There's no story. There's no nothing. It's just log in, do a 10-minute round of a competition shooter game. And it is so fucking fun. It is. So basically the gimmick is everybody loads into there are 3 teams of 3. Because we can't have 4-player teams anymore because life is horrible. You log in. There is a bank vault somewhere in the map, and your whole goal is you need to cash out that cash box until one team makes $20,000. So you need to get 2 cash boxes over the course of the game. The fun of it is, AJ, is that everything in the shooting arena is destructible. So like you can have a cash box that's sitting on top of like a 5-story building, and then you bust out your thermite gun and be like, all right, I don't want that to be on the top level anymore. You shoot out the floor and it just comes crumbling down 5 stories. And now you've
just like Battlefield.
That like Red Faction Guerrilla, it is such an interesting mechanic, because like the idea of like a shooter like this, of like a Payday style thing, is you as a team set up your defenses of like, okay, cool, I want my turrets here, I want my mines here, I want like my tripwire here. It's like you as an opposing team is like, no, I don't want to play by your rules, and you can just blow up the room that they were in, and now everybody needs to like dodge debris, basically outmaneuver. Like, okay, cool, now there's like all of my field of view just got like way smaller, or like I got tunneled because of the debris. I have now all of the lines of sight on me are now open, so like snipers can just get you. It is really fast paced. It is done like a sports game, and it's so fucking cool. Where there's just like the whole.
What do you mean
gimmick
it's done by like a sports game?
you're in a stadium and there are like people watching you. And there's like you get to pick a sponsor, which dictates like what faction you're fighting for through the season. It's a completely free game. Like there's no pay to win aspects of it. Like anything that costs money is purely cosmetic. But you just play the game and you can unlock all of the weapons, all the classes, just pretty naturally. Like I said, I've only been playing for like 10 hours and I've unlocked pretty much everything. Every weapon, every play style, every, archetype or whatever.
That's pretty nice.
It's super nice. It's super fascinating. I was having a really good time, and then I got thrown a fucking curveball I wasn't expecting. So, like I said,
I know what this curveball is.
Yeah, and this is part of a discussion I really want to contribute to, and I want to see more of. Is like I went 10 hours playing this game and having a really good time with it and really enjoying it. This is it's modeled after a sports game. So there are announcers, there are voiceovers that are talking live to what is going on in the match of like, hey, a team got wiped. They're going to be saying the name of that team that got wiped. Somebody did something crazy, made a crazy play. The announcer's going to comment on that. I found out after 10 hours of playing this game that all of the voices you hear from the players to the announcers are AI generated. And that threw me through a fucking loop. And it got me thinking like, wow, I didn't realize we were going to get to that point this early. I mean, technically we already have because this is a game from 2023 of like, cool. Like how much of unseen shit is just like now AI generated. Of like, cool, you really like this game? You've been spending like dozens of hours playing it? Well, here's this one thing you didn't even think about. Yeah, that's AI generated. Like we are now in that phase of like, cool, do we just have to compromise and accept that everything we touch now is going to have some ilk of or some slice of AI in it? And are we at that crossroads now of like, do you just have to accept that and like play games and understand that you are going to be consciously or unconsciously supporting that? Versus do you just turn off everything and go to the woods and be like, is that, because it's like, because like I like video games. I love playing video games. I have a fucking video game podcast.
I sincerely hope that it doesn't hit that point. I think that people who interact with the arts are generally pretty anti-AI. That's a sentiment that I've seen a lot. To the point that Steam has bothered to introduce the AI-generated content disclosure on Steam's pages. Yes. You mentioned that during this, while you were discovering or playing through the finals, that the voice acting thing was something that's actually declared on their Steam page. I think if you go to that Steam page and go to the bottom, it says during the AI generated
content disclosure. Yeah, right above the system requirements.
Right above it, and on the finals, it says what it was used for specifically. Yes, which I think is really bold. I think it's bold compared to what they did in the other game, because what you kind of didn't mention is that the finals and Arc Raiders are done by the same dev team. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, I did say that. That's what I was saying. Like, after my disappointment of Arc, I went to go see what else that company has made, and they made the finals.
Did you know that Arc Raiders is using the same technology, and they don't disclose it in the same way?
I heard that they were. I didn't know. I did try reading into this. I don't know what capacity, because there are characters that you talk to in Arc. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, are they using it in the way that they're using it for the player character that they are in the finals, where like all of the voices, like, what voice do you want for your character? Brr, brr, brr. Versus like, are you using it to replace characters outright? Because looking at the AI generated content disclosure on Arc Raiders, it is way more vague.
It says,
during the development process, yeah, we may use procedural and AI-based tools to assist with content creation. In all such cases, the final product reflects the creativity and expression of our own development team, which is such a flaccid penis of a statement.
So there's an interview. I just shared a link to you from a Polygon piece from October. There is an interview from PC Games. I should probably have gone to that link instead, this PC Games piece. But the game director said something to the extent of, as you stated, it's the same as the finals. We use the same text-to-speech model. We hire and contract voice actors for it. It's part of their contract that we use it for AI purposes, and that allows us to do things like ping our system. So it is the same technology and like the same process.
The difference is the interactions with, like, I hate to say it, but like I can understand the idea of doing it for the finals because you are creating, it's a sports event where people are doing things that are unexpected and they are reacting to that. That is not something that you can properly script with a voice actor, understandably. I still am against it, but like I see the idea. Versus the Arc Raiders, you're having pre-scripted conversations. So my concern is that they aren't using it to that same level of like purpose. They're just outright replacing actors that could very easily be scripted. And I remember seeing another thing that like threw me through a fucking loop from the developer, where they're like saying, the reason we're doing AI is because it saves us months worth of time. And then like a bunch of, professional voice actors were like, what are you talking? Recording a voiceover doesn't take months worth of time, dog. Like it's me in a living room, me in my bedroom with a fucking Rode mic. Like it's easy.
I'm really curious to know who they brought in. I would love to hear more information about this from the voice actors from the finals, because there is something interesting here you mentioned that it takes a lot of work to have a lot of situational voice lines for things in the video game. I would argue that that's not really pertinent. I don't make video games. This is important for this discussion. But in a game like...
We make fake video
games. But in a game like Hades, where adding more voice lines was part of the creation process, they knew what things could come up. Yep. And so they said, oh, well, if this comes up, let's have a voice line for it. When playing through Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's a stadium fight. And during that fight, there's plenty of interactions that they kind of accounted for, where they were like, oh, let's go ahead and add a voice line here if the character uses this ability or if the character uses that ability.
Yeah, you're totally right. Like it shows a lack of really creativity in, we know we made the fucking game. We know like
you made the game. You know what's going to come up during the video game.
Happen.
It would be on you to also put in the hooks for things for your characters to say. What this seems like to me is like there's the argument of like accessibility, right? Like, or access to the actors that are doing the voices. Because if they're using the AI tools to recreate the voices of those actors, then they don't have those actors on retainer. I know that there have been older games like Destiny, where one of the problems with some of those characters, I think the Warlock captain, they couldn't get her back to do more roles.
Yes.
And this was because they didn't have that person on retainer, but they wanted the union voice actor.
I thought that's because they passed away. Am I misremembering this? Because I remember you and I chatting about that. I was like, after the first story campaign, then when it went to Trials of Osiris, I'm like, oh, her voice is different. And then I think I remember it was either you saying or me reading that she passed away, and like they couldn't get her back.
I would have to double check. I wasn't sure if she passed away or if they just moved to another voice actor that was cheaper. Because this is my work.
That also sounds right. It is Bungie. So sorry. Yeah.
It's not just the cheaper aspect, it's the access. If you're doing a video game like the finals, where you're going to be continuing to add in more weaponry, more interactions, more things, and you want to have your commentators constantly interacting with that, you need to be able to easily call in your voice actors to be like, hey, we put in a new gun, it's called the Tommy Hawk. We need you to record a bunch of Tommy Hawk lines. And that may not be possible if they're like a bigger name, or like they don't necessarily want to pay to have that person come on board. And unlike something like Hades, where all of the voice talent is people that are working on the game anyway, this is another check they have to write for that voice actor. Now, this is part of the expenses that you have to take on if you want to make this your type of video game.
Every time, and I keep coming back to it, and I will shout it from the fucking mountaintops. There is no argument for the benefit of AI other than saving on money, saving on the dollar. And it sucks. Just circling back, because we got into the weeds of this conversation, it sucks to why this conversation is important to me, and why this thing really bothered me is it sucks to have invested 10 hours of my time into something I was really enjoying and really having a good time with, and now I'm just sitting here like, okay, now I feel compromised, and like, what could I have done? Like, okay, cool, there is that little article at the bottom of the Steam page.
But you didn't know to be looking for that.
Yeah, you don't. Like, it's obviously very different, but it feels exactly like the whole Panera Bread lemonade thing, where they're like,
"Oh, I'm sorry, did you not read the sentence that said that this was going to kill you?"
Yeah, where it has like 3 times your or two. I think like 2/3 or 1/3 of your daily calorie intake in that really small text. You didn't read it? Well, you can't sue us. It's like, no, buddy. Like, there is an element of like, they know, like. It's like the terms and conditions. They know people aren't going to fucking read it, There's a reason why they didn't put it in Arc Raiders, right? Like, they were brave enough to say, like, for the finals, hey, this major key part of this video game is being done by AI generation. Come check it out anyway. But it's worth noting that they didn't put that on Arc Raiders, their more recent, bigger budget game. To be fair, if I did go and reread the AI-generated content disclosure stuff from both pages again. They are the same statement, except for the last sentence where on the finals, they say examples include voiceover audio, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So it's the same, the opening of that. The developers describe how their game uses AI like this. During the development process, we may use procedural, blah, blah, blah. That statement's the same. It still doesn't ring right because they didn't include an example. They felt comfortable enough of like, oh, whatever, it's just a blanket statement,
They didn't like it for the other one, so we'll just use the blanket statement this time.
Yeah, like, it genuinely, I have no other word for it than feeling scammed, like feeling duped of like, I put my emotional, like, of course, we're talking about video games here. We're talking about haha, funny shooter, gun, go bang, bang game.
This is important. You need to do violence, and you need to be patted on the head and back for your good violence.
It's important to me, like, as an artist and stuff, of like, I want to know. Like, I think, are there some ethical uses of AI? Yes, but largely no. Like, the
best
only
examples I've heard for ethical use of AI is all of the boring shit, right? Like rotoscoping when you're trying to edit something out, or using AI procedurally generated grass textures. But that's the difference between procedural versus like algorithmic. Anything that requires a human touch, or anything that can be punched up by the human touch or felt, should be done by hand. If you're doing a video game where your whole thing is we want sports announcers to make it feel like you're a sports person, that should be done by humans, because humans are going to think to themselves, I wonder if during this line read, if I hold the Y on Tommy Hawk, will that sound better and cooler? Yeah.
And by bringing in external people, external creatives, they can understand your thing in a new light that you didn't even think about. Like, for example, I think it is a fucking masterclass of dubbing. The Love is War dub, they went a completely different direction than the Japanese subtitles. Like, if you listen to the voice, the narrator for the show, he's like so fucking millennial coded, where he's like making SpongeBob references in the intonation of how he's giving lines. It's incredible stuff that if a director came on and was working on that show for months and months and months, they might not think of shit like that. And I think it really is sad that companies are kind of embracing that, or not necessarily embracing that, but like more importantly, not valuing what that brings. And that saddens me. That saddens me a lot as a player and as an artist. But I'm also conflicted, because I'm like, everything else about the finals is like super fun. Does it make me an asshole for wanting to continue playing?
It does sound awesome, unfortunately. Like, everything that you were saying about this game sounds sick as hell. Unfortunately, because like the main flavor of it is done through AI generation, I know that I won't be able to bring myself to play it.
Yeah,
and that sucks.
And that's the other thing of like, cool, I've played it now. I have a hankering for it, and now I'm put in that awkward position of like, cool, I wish I just never played this from the get-go then, if I knew that. I wish it was used less, and the times that it is used, I wish there was a better systems in place to allowing a person to be a better educated player, a better educated like purchaser. I would feel even more pissed off if I spent money on this. Like, imagine if I was like, oh, this thing was on sale. I don't give a shit. Like $5, $10.
Yeah, if you had spent $20 to a game where one of the major flavor points is something that you do not support, that sucks.
Yeah, like how fucking, like that's how frustrating. So it's like I'm sitting here. I'm like, I want to continue playing it. But I have these qualms about it, and now am I an asshole? Am I a hypocrite? Like it's just like I wish I was never put in this situation. You know? Again, it's stupid. It's a shoot 'em game. It's not like it's anything really critical or important to my life, but it's still something I consider.
It is important. It's supposed to make you feel good. Everything's that
yeah,
deep.
Like a little bit of escapism, at the end of a long day of like I stared at a fucking bad monitor for 12 hours. I want to come home and look at a good monitor for a little bit. Yeah, Jesus. Also, hey, it's 45 minutes in. Are we?
No, I think we did a serious games podcast this week.
Oh shit, we did like an actual games journalist podcast. All right, well,
I think calling this journalism that's strong.
What are you talking about? We read sources, we read quotes, we talked about like interviews and things. Like, no, I would go on a limb and say this was our games journalist episode. We did a good job.
Hear that, Patrick Klepek? We're literally just like you.
I don't even know who that is, and we're just like you.
Blake, I think that's where we're going to leave this episode.
I think so, yeah. Not the most chip and cheery episode, eh?
Well, hey, really quick. I closed mine out by referencing a game that, like, when I said, oh, I'm not loving this video game and what it's doing, I shouted out Brick Break, a game that I do legitimately stand by, that scratches the itches that I want. Do you have a video game that almost scratches these itches that you can shout out that's from a smaller or different team?
Honestly, I think the game I would love to shout out, we've already talked about it, but it is like the ideal game of this is what I think games should do for people is Peak.
Oh my God.
We are still playing our Discord. Our Discord is still playing Peak. It's a perfect game. It does exactly what I want out of a game. Yeah, like it's
you're so right.
A game that is all about chat. It's all about like the creativity. It's all about the fun. It's like it has little gags that are not only designed by the game developers, but they empower the player. Not empower is not the right word, but they set the players up to have these very fun, emotional, hilarious interactions. It is just such a beautiful balance of player input and creator design. I think that is a touchstone game for me right now. Of like this is like what games should be like and should be doing for the community.
Shout out Peak. There's a new biome in that game right now, actually. I got to get in there.
I saw, dude, you want to play some of that tonight? You want to, when we both get home from our bad screen, we can look at the good screen together?
You want to call in sick at both of our jobs and play Peak today?
No, I have to. No, I can't. Shit. Well, anything in patch notes? Or are we just closing it out?
I got nothing in patch notes. Check out Beastbreaker. Check out Peak. Check out other games journalists. As always, the intro and outro is Cheap Shop by Anna Monoguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I've been your other host, Blake Rea.
This has been Spiritual Successor, and these are cool games
that should not be made.